Yo, what's up, guys? I was having a conversation with one of my clients today, and they asked me about winter training, and they said, I just finished a really good season. Just curious, how am I going to get through the winter time? How am I going to find that motivation? Traditionally, I have trouble with indoor training in the winter. I have trouble staying on track in the winter time. I don't like training inside. It's hot. The trainer feels different. My body doesn't feel as good. There's no scenery. The air is dry. Like all these things for the indoor training, like in the winter time, it's cold outside. There's no sunlight. Like, how am I going to get through this? And then, why do I do this? Like, I'm having trouble with that. And I heard that on the phone, and I was like, okay, those are good arguments to not do any indoor training or winter training, because couldn't we just skip that whole thing and just take the winter off and then just pick it back up when it gets nice out? And then it occurred to me, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to try to sell you on winter training or anything like that. I'm going to just tell you reality, and I'm just going to share with you how it works. And what I did is I just remembered what happened to me. So I thought that maybe I could share with you guys why I value indoor training and winter training so much, and how you've heard me use this term before. These are the months of hope, right? And these are really truly the months that you can turn everything around and transform into the next level of yourself, into the next version of yourself. So real quick, when I was a kid, I was a teenager in Connecticut. For those of you that don't know Connecticut, the winter is really bad there. And I was in high school, and we got out of school at I think 3:30, and it got dark at 4:30 or 5 o'clock or something like that. So there wasn't a whole lot of time to train outside during the week in Connecticut. And what I did is, when I first started as a junior and I figured out about training, and I obsessed, right? I'm a little bit obsessive. So I didn't really know what I was doing, but my first winter, I got an indoor trainer and I put it in a room, and this was, my parents didn't have enough money for another television, didn't have anything else. So I just put a picture on the wall. I was a big fan of Tinker Juarez, and I put this Tinker Juarez photo on the wall, and it had a picture of him, with his muscles all ripped, and he was doing a climb, and it said nice guys don't finish last. And then below it said, Tinker Juarez, slowly grinding people into the dirt. And I like Tinker Juarez, and yeah, he's nice, and I like his writing style, and I just like that phrase, grinding people into the dirt. And I put that picture on the wall, and I would just ride my trainer staring at this picture of Tinker Juarez on the wall for 2-3 hours. I didn't have any intervals. I didn't have a coach. I just made stuff up. If I felt good, I went hard, and most of the time I just went hard anyway. And I was obsessed. I mean, sometimes I would ride till 9 o'clock at night. But guess what happened, guys? I was a junior beginner when I first started doing this. I just finished my season. I had, got some good results. I upgraded to junior sport. And that season that came after I did that winter training, I won every single junior sport race. Every single one. There wasn't one that I didn't win. And I came out into the season so far ahead of everybody that there was just no chance. You couldn't even catch me. I had totally transformed to this total high level because I trained all winter long. And guess what? No one else did. Not only did they not do the work that I did, but they weren't doing any work, right? They weren't doing the right work. They maybe were in the weight room because it felt good, right? Or they were running cross country because it was fun, right? Or whatever. But, they weren't doing the work on the bike. And I smoked them and I crushed them. The following season, I did the exact same thing, right? The same winter. Bam. I made the transition from junior sport to junior expert. I won every single junior expert race, every single one from you name it, all over New England. I raced like every weekend. I was undefeated, right? This is called the Pedro Series, won every single race. Then the next year, transitioned to national level on junior expert, and I was on this team, RockShox Devil team, racing against guys like Jeremy Horgan, Kabelski, some of the best that were Jeff Kabush, these guys, and beat them. I was the #1 mountain biker in the country that year. Same thing, kid from Connecticut, no climbs. I was winning on climbs in Big Bear, Mammoth, Park City. I even raced in Helen, Georgia, won that. I did all of it in the off season, right? It was this time of year. This is when I put the work. I did it on an indoor trainer. I did it without the technology, without the tools that we all have now. This is when your opportunity is. Fast forward, I went to college, right? I got to college when I had given up so much my high school years. When I got to college, I saw all these people on my cycling team, and none of them trained hard in the wintertime. And they said, take it off, party, hang out with us. And I thought, oh, maybe I didn't really need to be doing all that stuff in the wintertime. Maybe I didn't really need to be putting in all that work. Like maybe I could have still won without it. So I listened to them. I drank beer. I hung out with my friends. I didn't do indoor training workouts. I didn't do any winter workouts. I rode on group rides on the weekends. Guess what happened? I got my ass kicked the following year. And that sent me into a tailspin because I never got my ass kicked. All of a sudden, here I am getting my ass kicked. I would deflate my tires in the races and give myself a flat tire, or I'd run into rocks to flat because I was so embarrassed that I wasn't winning or I wasn't in the front. I was embarrassed by all the stuff. I would drop out of races, would force myself to drop out because I didn't want to accept what was happening. I did the training in the summertime. I did the group rides, but it was too late. I was so far behind. All those people left me behind. Were all those kids that told me I didn't need to train and all that stuff, where were they? They were right where I was. But I wanted to be in the front of the race. They didn't care. They had the excuses. They had tons of excuses. I listened to those excuses. For 1 year, I did those excuses. I accepted them. I let the air out of my tires. I ran into rocks. I made excuses with them. But guess what? As I got towards the end of college, I decided that I wanted to become a pro cyclist. I started putting in the work, and where did I do it? I did it right now. I did it in the wintertime. I was in my dorm room. I was riding the trainer. I went outside. I braved the cold. I did the hard work in the wintertime, and guess what happened? I transformed. I turned everything around. I went from embarrassing results and fake flat tires and ridiculous excuses to winning races, to getting third in the Tour of the Gila, to getting on a pro team, to getting on to Mercury, to then doing the same progression that winter, to getting on a Saturn, and doing the same progression that following year, getting on a Fossa Bordello, and then doing the same hard work in the wintertime, getting on a Discovery Channel. Guys, you know the story, whatever it is. This is the time to transform. I cannot emphasize that more than I am now. If you guys wait until when it gets nice out and when everybody is riding on the group rides and doing all the nice, pretty training under the sun with all the daylight, guys, you will not be where you want to be because everybody is doing that, right? If you want to get ahead, there's only one place to do it, and it's right now. There's low friction. No one's doing squat, right? Everybody's making excuses. Everybody's running around tired and blaming illness and no time and too much stress. And all, guys, guess what? Get efficient, put a schedule together, plan it out, do it, go down on your training, talk to me, talk to whoever, be consistent and get it done. I cannot tell you enough. I just gave you like 2 perfect examples. Guys, it works. This is the time to do it. All right. Now is the time. There is nothing good back there with all those fake flat tires and BS excuses and not getting it done and making all the time for all the other stuff, right? But not for yourself. The training is for you. The fulfillment is for you. The health is for you. The feeling good is for you. It's all for you. Get it done and make yourself great. All right, that's all I have to say. Later.